Hello and welcome to another episode of the TES Secondary Maths Resource of the Week with me, Craig Barton. Now, I thought we'd go for something a bit different for this week's Resource of the Week. Often I feature resources that are designed to be used with students in lessons. But of course, a massive part of a teacher's job is the planning and sometimes the collaborative planning and the thinking through the pedagogy. And that's something that happens outside of the classroom. So this resource that I've picked here is absolutely ideal for use in departmental meetings. And I don't know if your departmental meetings are anything like ours or what ours used to be. You get flipping bogged down in admin left, right and centre, filling out forms, target grades, adding marks to mark sheets, blah, 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 blah. It gets painful. And when you've got a group of maths teachers all together, that is a golden opportunity to get talking about pedagogy, get talking about teaching and learning. Now, one of my favourite ways of doing this, as I've spoke about in many conferences and so on, is to get teachers to write questions together, specifically diagnostic questions, because I really think that focuses the pedagogy. But here's an alternative, and I'm falling a little bit in love with this. I think it's absolutely superb. It is called, free, always good, Teach for Understanding Bigger Picture Maths CPD. And as the authors say, I should say, it's been created by Number Loving. That's Sharon and Laura. Not seen them out and about for a couple of years on TES, but hopefully they're back with a bang with this. This is a resource that can be used during maths department meetings to discuss how to teach for understanding and not tricks. Right, let's have a look at this. So it's a PDF, lovely little design there on the front. And there you get some nice instructions for how the authors, Laura and Sharon, suggest that this could be used within departmental meetings. And it's wonderful, this, because there are absolutely loads of these topics for discussion on pages 3 to 14. So you've got plenty. And the format that I'm going to show you now means that this can be extended to a whole host of other topics. So it looks like that. Imagine that your year 10s are going to learn laws of indices next week. And in fact, because your year 10s are, many of your department's year 10s are doing laws of indices. And even if some people don't teach year 10, and maybe they've got year 11s who need to revise this and so on. So the idea is that you look at this topic in three ways. The method, the basic, how do kids do it? How are you going to teach kids the procedural techniques for actually multiplying powers together? But then about the understanding, how are you going to get them to understand conceptually what's going on? And then finally, the bigger picture. Where does this fit in? Maybe to other areas of maths, maybe to the wider world, maybe to different problems that students will encounter, and so on. And the idea is, well, the way I've run it anyway in the past, is you get teachers on their own to have a go at filling this out. So just print off a little A4 and then maybe get them paired up or working in groups of 4, sharing their thinking, and get it printed out on an A3 sheet of paper this time, collaborate, bring all their thoughts together into one, and then share it with the whole department. And it's a wonderful way to get teachers to really focus on the pedagogy. Gets away from, I've spoke many times about how I'm not a fan of joint planning of lessons. I think you can get too bogged down in the nitty gritty of the flipping font and the animations, or I don't like group work, you do, blah, 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 blah. Whereas if you plan questions and talk about pedagogy, that's when you really get focused into the nitty gritty, the main stuff that really matters. So I think this is wonderful for discussing any topic. I'll show you some of the others. So we've got, again, indices there. What about fractions? That's an interesting one, right? How are you going to explain kids how to answer that? And like, I have one way straight away in my head, but I can guarantee it'll be different to my colleagues. And I can also guarantee that some of my colleagues' ways are going to be better than my ways. So it's a fantastic way to get teachers talking about how they actually firstly explain how to do something. Then how do you get kids to understand why they're doing it? What's it look like? Why? And then secondly, or finally, the bigger picture. Where does this fit into other areas of maths? Maybe where does it fit into real life scenarios? So I just think it's a lovely method to really focus discussion. And the authors have produced some different ones there. You'll see we're bringing negative numbers into play now, standard form into play, and then sort of a blank one. And that's the main thing, right? Because this can be anything. You can just put any question in the whole wide world there, and it just works as a really nice focused way of focusing discussion. But I've got one point to make, and it's similar to the point that I made on last week's Resource of the Week video, and I've been making this for years. If you use this as a one-off, it'll be fine at the time, and everyone will be like, oh, this is great. But then the effect is minimal. Things like these need to be used consistently. They need to be a regular part of your routine. And I've been guilty of this so much in the past. You see a good idea, you think, I'm going to hammer this to death, you use it loads, and then it just disappears, right? For this to be effective, and I really think it can be effective, this needs to be something that you're doing in departmental meetings on a regular basis. Maybe once a week is too much, but maybe you can set aside 10 minutes every 2 weeks, or even 10 minutes every month to pick a topic and break it down and to discuss it like this. Because it's only when you start doing this in the long term and at regular intervals that you really start to reap the benefits. So there it is. I just thought this was a lovely resource. Teach for understanding bigger picture. If you like it, hop back on here, share your review, give them a star rating, give them a comment, and I shall return with a fresh resource of the week next week. Take care of yourselves. Bye for now.